Oh, I should get my Elbaf helmet for this. I should get my Elbaf helmet. Hold on. I got the X-Men theme in my head for some reason. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Yes, come on in. Yes. Salutations from Panama, famous for its canal, which there's a story behind the canal, but that won't be for this episode of One Piece chapter breakdowns. Hello, nice to meet you all. Hello, welcome in. Come on in. Yes, you didn't miss much. I was just singing the X-Men theme while wearing a Viking helmet. It's just there's a brief moment when I start the stream where there's like nobody in here for like a minute, so I have to entertain myself. Okay. So, you know what? This chapter was not very long. It was an introductory chapter into the arc. Most of these, whenever Oda is like, hey, this is just like the first chapter where the Straw Hats are on a new island, there's not really a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff happened, but like in terms of questions and answers, we have more of one than the other. I'll let you guess which one. But you know what? Now that I'm actually reading some people's responses to this, there's an angle going into this chapter that at first I was a little bit like, nah, that can't be the case. But as more people bring it up, and it's not the one you think, there seems to be like people pretty split on whether or not it is still an illusion. Because, yeah, Usopp did get attacked by the giant cat, and it's like, well, it's not an illusion. But a lot of people have pointed out, like, wait, no, things are a little bit weird here. It could still very well be an illusion. So I do not think it's an illusion. But even then, there's still some weird stuff with that we'll cover. I don't think it's an illusion or a hallucination. However, I don't think they are in a true Elbaf village. Or rather, they are, but not. All right? So, and I've been reading comments about this. So the biggest thing, and I'm just going to start off with this, because this chapter's not really, there's not like a lot like in terms of the substance in the chapter. We don't have a lot of dialogue. There's not a lot of exposition. But, yeah, fake Namek situation. So, I'm just going to say it just because to make it more simple. They are in a toy set. All right? What they are seeing right now, the castle, the Yggdrasil tree, that is all part of, like, a diorama set that some giant is fucking with them. The giants we saw in the chapter are not really giants, because people pointed this out. Like, I don't think the giants we saw in the chapter in the village that were watching the fire, I don't think they're giants. Because if you look at the actual structure of that castle they're in, Big Stein Castle, the hallways and everything in there are more suited to, like, small animals, like the hedgehog and everything like that, right? And they're talking about, like, an ear god, and they're talking about a sun god. So people have been saying, like, what if those giants weren't giants? What if they were people that were dressed up just like the Straws? Because those people, those giants we saw, they were wearing, like, horned helmets, and they had, like, axes and shields and shit, but so were the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats woke up and were wearing those outfits. So the people we saw in the village might not be real giants. Also, we saw that at the end of the chapter when Nami and Usopp fall down on that like that landing and the lion shows up, we saw skeletons around them. We saw bones, human bones that were about the same size. That means other humans have been here and have been eaten by this cat lion thing. Okay? Yeah, okay, so it's not just Luffy with the inconsistencies, Sam. We'll talk about that because I'm just going to see if I can pull this up. Somebody actually sent this over Twitter to me, and it's like super, like, yeah, what was it? There was like a literal comparison panel by panel. I'm going to see if I can just pull this up. I don't know. If I can't find it, I'll just... I remember most of it. Okay, I don't know if I can find it. No, I don't know where it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The weapons on each of the Straw Hats are extraordinarily inconsistent. Like, it's... The big one people point to is at the end of the chapter, Luffy apparently has, like, a sword on his back, and then it changes to an axe. And that was the big thing people were pointing out. And I'm like, I mean, that happens a lot. Like, you know, with that, like, there's that one time Oda drew Zoro with Law's sheath instead of Shusui's sheath. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so that like, understandable. But, like, no. Like, so when you see the Straw Hats rushing in to save Nami and Usopp, so, like, and we'll get back to the Super Chats in a moment, but I just want to cover these two big points here. So, when Luffy comes rushing in, it doesn't look like he has anything on his back at all. And also, he says gear 4th instead of clearly gear 3rd, which is what it is. And that's not like a translation error. Like, that's, like, it literally does say 4th in Japanese. I'm pretty sure it does. But, so Luffy doesn't have anything on his back. And then after defeating the lion, he has a sword on his back. And then in the very next panel, he has an axe on his back. Sanji also... No, Nami. Nami loses the sword. Nami had a sword on her back, and then she doesn't. That went away. So there is a lot of inconsistencies with this. But I don't know about... I don't know what the whole thing is with that. It could still be an illusion just based off of that. That's a little bit more up on the air for me. What if they are on display? That seems to be believable here. Just going by what's happening. So, let's assume... the Straw Hats are in a giant diorama. Like, so there is a giant that built a miniature Elbaf, okay? And he put, like, a little village in there made out of Legos. He made a little fake diorama version of Yggdrasil, and he put it in there as just, like, this is my mini... It's like he's playing The Sims, all right? Like, there's a giant that's playing The Sims. The giant... is pretending to be God. So that's why when the giants are like, we need to report this to the all-powerful sun god. Nah, it's a giant, might be a child, pretending to be a god, being like, I built this little diorama, and I'm going to put little Lego houses in there, and I'm going to put these humans in there, and I will be their god. It's that shit. It's that shit, all right? And because... people have been pointing out, like, wow, it is a little bit, and I didn't bring this up in the chapter because I thought it was just a thing that's like, that's not that big of a deal. But we see Yggdrasil, and I gotta be honest with you, I was a little disappointed upon seeing Yggdrasil. I didn't mention it because, like, I thought, like, well, whatever, this is Yggdrasil, this is what we're gonna see. But I was kind of disappointed because when we see Yggdrasil right here, this thing is fucking massive. This tree is so damn big. Like, look at this. This is from a perspective out at sea looking towards Elbaf. We see this tree, and it is a massive... It's bigger than the mountains. All right? Like, look at this. All right? This is a massive fucking tree. And it's like we see Yggdrasil, and we see the trunk of it all the way up to the canopy. And it's like... And also, it looks different. Like, this is like a straight, like, I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I do know a little bit about trees, but I'm not... The trunks do look different, though. Yeah, maybe they're in the dream world with Freddy Krueger. Okay. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, Usopp hit the floor. 5, 6, Chopper grabs his crucifix. Yeah, it could be an illusion. So, like... But I'm really liking the idea... that we start off Elbaf with the Straw Hats being in a miniature version of Elbaf that is ruled by, like, a child that's pretending to be the sun god. That seems like a fun way to, like, introduce it. But then there also, there are a lot of art inconsistencies that make me wonder, like, well, that, like, let's say the Straw Hats are in a diorama. That doesn't explain why their weapons keep disappearing. That doesn't explain why somebody brought up Nami's tattoo is missing in a single shot. I didn't even notice that. You know, so that doesn't explain all that away. You know, and also, like, the fact that, like, oh, it's like some kid takes his pet cat and the cat ate a lion zone and just put him in there and just, like, just have it eat these, like, humans or whatever. Because it does kind of fit. It does make sense that there would be some giant somewhere on Elbaf that'd be like, wait a minute, I'm a giant. if I take humans and put them in my little diorama, model of Elbaf, I could be their god. It seems like there could be a giant with messed up, like a god complex, and that would go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Could be Loki, could just be a kid that's just playing like The Sims or like Roller Coaster Tycoon or some shit, right? Okay, anyway, let's go through some super chats now, because I just wanted to open up with that because I've been seeing a lot of comments about that. I think Luffy might be an illusion because there are a lot of inconsistencies with him. Yes, and I know Liam did a video, I think he just put it up earlier today, talking about like, yeah, this isn't really Luffy, this is not really him. I don't know about that yet. I hesitate to say whether or not like Luffy is just a straight up, like they're all like it's all an illusion or whatever. A lot of people brought up like, oh, Sanji was talking about cooking bugs, but isn't Sanji canonically afraid of bugs? I don't really consider that an inconsistency. Sanji's a chef. There's a difference between running from a giant spider and cooking a giant spider that's already dead, So I don't know about that one. But that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, it's hard. You have to, like, sift through all of it. You have to, like, take everything that people are worried about and, like, what's going on here and, like, kind of sift out the ones that make the most sense. Like, that might just be art inconsistency. That might just be an error. Oh, this one might be legit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Do you think that Advanced Conquerors is something similar to Nen and Hunter x Hunter, giving the same kind of unique ability Hatsu? I don't think it's going to be as, like, intricate as Hatsu and Nen, because Nen is really freaking intricate. I was just talking to my friend Zach actually yesterday. He's going to start reading Hunter x Hunter. He's recently got caught up with One Piece, and I was telling him, I was like, man, Hunter x Hunter's really good. You need to check out Hunter x Hunter. The power system in that is like one of the best ever. I don't think anything in One Piece, and I don't think it should either. I don't think like Oda should be trying to make Haki like Nen or Devil Fruits like Nen. Like, it's its own thing, its own power system. It perfectly works for this particular story. But yeah, I do love Nen more than I love like any other power system. I will say that. Do you think Luffy will fight Zoro because of their ideals? And in Thriller Bark, do you think the giant shadows will be mentioned in the future? Well, the giant shadows will definitely be mentioned in the future. That's not going to be just completely like forgotten about. I don't think Zoro and Luffy will ever fight like seriously, like to the point where they're actually trying to kill one another. I don't think that'll ever happen. No. For your next milestone, hour-long Foxy video. I mean, I guess I could do that. When I hit 800K, I'll make an hour-long Foxy video. You heard it here first. There it is. Okay. Also, Oda does not make errors to this degree in a single chapter. Yeah, he's definitely made errors before. That's what people, like, every time people mention an art error, and, like, there's a reason for this, I'd be like, he makes a lot more than you might think. But yes, a lot clustered in this particular chapter. Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at some other examples of some other chapters. The one that always comes to mind immediately is the first chapter after the time skip, where Zoro's scar is not on the right eye, and also he misdraws the scabbard. Like, that one was like, that was such an, it seems like, oh, there's no way that could have been a mistake. No, it was a genuine mistake. And these are new outfits the Straw Hats are wearing, so maybe, but, oh, dude, I'll tell you what, though. Like, I was thinking about this. Like, if you are going to go the illusion route with it, how wild would it be for Oda to start this chapter off, this arc off, and Oda's sitting there like, you know what? I'm going to write in a bunch of inconsistencies in this chapter, and I want to see how many true One Piece fans notice. Like, the Gear 4th thing. Like, if that was intentional, like, this is not really Luffy, this is an illusion. Now, if it's an illusion, who's the one that's dreaming? I would assume it would be Nami. Something else people brought up was like, we're seeing a lot of this chapter from Nami's kind of POV, and Nami was like, oh, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, come and save me. I'll even take Usopp. And then right after that, those Straw Hats show up. Not Chopper, who Chopper also apparently went missing, but she didn't mention Chopper, and Chopper doesn't show up in this chapter. We'll see if it's intentional today. Oh, no, I mean, like, the official's already out, right? Yeah, the official's already out. I mean, I could check on that right now. I'm pretty sure he still says Gear 4th. Because that doesn't seem like an issue. Yeah, he still says Gear 4th. So that's in the actual Japanese. Like, the kanji for 4 is there. That could be an error, but, like, yeah. Yeah. So... yeah, so no, I don't think it's an illusion either. I'm just saying there's a lot of weird inconsistencies. Now, going to those people living in the village, if those people are just other humans that were dressed up like Elbaf warriors in the same way the Straw Hats were, Because they're talking about like, oh, there's the great ear god. What if the ear god really is just a rabbit? It's just an Elbaf rabbit. So from a perspective of a normal human, that would be a huge ass rabbit, right? So yeah, and they're afraid of this rabbit thing that lives in the forest. So like, it is a diorama. It's a big diorama, and the messed up giant with a god complex is like throwing a cat and a hedgehog and bees and throwing like a big rabbit, is like, this is the monster of the forest. Maybe the giant just really wants to run a D&D campaign, but he can't find anybody to play with. There's no other giants that'll play with him. So he just resorts to this messed up, like, Sims fantasy. I just thought of this after last night's episode, but does anyone believe Wapol can be a buccaneer? Why else would he still be in the story? See, these are things that are like, Wapol, he doesn't need to have, like, special lineage to still be in the story. You know what I mean? He could just be in the story because maybe Oda finds it funny for him to still be in the story. I think Jean Bart might be a buccaneer, though. Member of Law's crew. Yeah, he could be one. Oh, and, the other reason... Legoland exists. Legoland is a place in Denmark. I guess they're all over the world, but Lego started in Denmark, and we keep seeing Denmark, like, references and stuff, because Nordic country, obviously. So, like, look at this. Legoland. I didn't even know this existed. I didn't even know this was a real thing. This is in Germany, I suppose. Legoland Deutschland, so that's Germany, right? Yeah. So, like, Legoland. Like, is there one from Denmark? Yeah, here we go. Like, I need to go, by the way. I need to go to Legoland, by the way. I didn't even know these existed. I need to go. Because living in Pennsylvania, all we got is Hershey Park. You guys got, there's Disneyland, although I have been to Disneyland before. I've been to Disney World. I've been to the one in Florida. So we got Legoland. There's one in Japan, too? Oh, my God. Maybe Oda just went to Legoland a few weeks ago, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just going to make this into Elb. Dude, what'd be great is if Oda and his family went to Legoland together, and his, like, child just said, hey, Dad, can you put Legoland in One Piece? And, like, okay. Dude, that would be fucking great, though, if it's like, that Oda's children have to have input on, like, One Piece every once in a while, right? Like, every now and then, Oda's children have to say, like, hey, Dad, how about you put this in One Piece? And like, okay, I can do that. That's cool. That looks fun. I gotta go to Legoland at some point. But, yeah, no, like, so Legoland exists. So what if there just is a Legoland? Also, other thing that makes me think this is possible, every other time we have seen Elbaf, every other time, the architecture is always different. Now, you could just explain that away. You could just say that, like, let me see really quick. There's another video I want to reference here. Everything about Elbaf. Okay. Where is that? Okay, right here. So this is the architecture on the pub. Okay, so this is like every place we've seen in Elbaf so far pretty clearly. So the top two are from Big Mom's backstory, and then the bottom two are from when we saw Shanks there. So obviously the architecture is not the same as the architecture we've been seeing now. People have just said that, like, oh, there's obviously, like, there's different regions, there's different kingdoms. We have that flag mark, the flag sigil that was on top of the castle. So on top of Big Stein Castle, which Stein just means, I think, stone. Somebody commented, so thank you for that. So it's just Big Stone Castle. So the flag on top looks like this. And people have said, well, oh, what if it's like the star represents Yggdrasil, and the different four sections are like different kingdoms or regions of Wano, and there's like different giant tribes that live there, and one builds their houses out of Legos, and one builds their house out of Lincoln Logs, and another one builds their house out of Bionicles, and another one builds their houses out of like erector sets or whatever. Like, I don't know. Oh, said Wano again. Yeah, I know, man. I keep doing that. Elbaf. Yeah. Yeah, that's like I said that a few chapters ago, like the idea that like the younger Straw Hats are ones that are getting like spirited away to the Fey realm, and the older ones have to bring them back. It's like the children will be spirited away, but the adults have to bring them back, kind of thing, right? Yeah. It'd be funny if the giant tree is just a small Christmas tree. Yeah, so like, I'll be honest with you, I kind of wish that it is a diorama, because I don't want the Yggdrasil we saw in the last chapter to just be it. Like, there's Yggdrasil the whole time. It's just a big tree. It's like, I felt like there was going to be more to Yggdrasil. I felt like there was going to be more to it than that, right? Oh, you know what also? When the people in the town were saying, like, if the flame spreads to Yggdrasil, the country's done for. What if the messed up giant that's, like, playing The Sims right now is like, if you knock over that tree again, I'm going to burn this entire diorama to the ground. And all the other guys are like, oh, no. You know, so, yeah. If you mess up my diorama, I'm going to burn you all. It's like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. The opposite of Spirited Away, yeah. Did you already talk about the many inconsistencies? Yeah, there are a lot of inconsistencies. Yeah, see, this is the biggest problem I have right now, is that I like the diorama idea, but there are so many inconsistencies. Like the diorama idea and the illusion idea, putting them together, I don't know if they work too well, you know? Unless you want to say that, like, Nami is in a dream, but the person using the dream, like, has an illusion power, and it's like everyone, like, trapped in the dream realm or whatever. I guess that could be connected. Like, they get drunk with the absinthe, they go to sleep, somebody has the power of the dream fruit, because I don't think that ability's ever been shown before. There was the sleep fruit. That one of, there was a non-canon character that had that. The sleep fruit. Noko had that. That was the Nemu no Mi from the Ocean's Dream arc. I think it was the seahorse that had it. So we have the memo. Oh my fucking god! I just realized something. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god. Okay. No. It's a dream. It's a dream world. It's a dream world. I cracked the nugget. All right. I got it. Don't worry. I figured it out. And it's so goddamn obvious. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Everyone's like, what is it? What is it? Don't worry. I figured it out. All right, guys. Later. Teching signing out. Bye. All right. Oh, God. If this is the case, I swear to God. All right. So, inconsistencies, illusion. I guess you could say it's a dream world. Let's say some giant ate some kind of dream-based devil fruit that allows people to, like, suck people into dream worlds, okay? Let's say that happens, okay. What happened in the last One Piece movie? What was the plot of the last One Piece movie, Film Red? There are so many times when the movie plots are basically watered-down versions of what happens in the manga. Bullet is basically Kaido, and Bullet's backstory, which was revealed first, was Kaido's backstory. Uta makes a magical fucking song dream world that drags everybody into it. No. I'm not saying Uta's in Elbaf, but the concept of the dream realm being used as, and this isn't going to be the main plot of Elbaf, I guarantee it. This isn't going to be the main plot of Elbaf, where the Straw Hats are stuck in a dream world the entire time. I think this is just the opening salvos to this. This is just the introductory arc. Like, we're going to be in this dream realm for a few chapters as like a mini arc. And then we're going to get out of the dream realm, and then we're going to find out that there was a giant that has this power, and then we're going to explore actual Elbaf after that. But that was the plot of the last fucking One Piece movie, where everybody gets sucked into a dream world. I just did a video on the Uta no Mi not too long ago. I made one, what was it? Like back in July I did this. Yeah, I made a freaking Uta no Mi video. So Uta, troubled streamer lady with severely bad parasocial relationships and high on trucker pills creates a dream realm where she is basically God, and she can kind of do anything, and it's magical and whimsical and all that kind of shit, right? Yeah. Okay. So there it is. So what Oda's probably going to do is going to retool that into like a dream fruit. It's not going to be the song fruit. It's going to be called something different. He just he retools that into a dream fruit. One of the giants has it, uses the power, sucks in the Straw Hats. They got sucked into the realm when they got drunk on the absinthe. They go into the dream realm. They're running around now. That explains the inconsistencies. The people that are already in there are giants. That also explains the outfits they get. You know, like, because I don't think a giant, like, undressed all of the Straw Hats and, like, put a fake beard on Usopp and put, like, they still have all their gear. Zeus going with Nami makes sense because Zeus is a sentient being, so Zeus can sleep and eat and dream as well. So the Climate Act going in, I guess, makes sense. Nami still having Zeus. Chopper isn't in the dream because Chopper doesn't drink. We didn't see Chopper. We haven't seen Chopper at all, actually. He might still... I don't know if he's still on the Great Eric, but that would be funny if that was the reference there, yeah. Yeah. Nah, there's inconsistencies, so the dream thing, like, was definitely viable, but I'm just trying to think of, like, how everything fits together. It's like a fucking puzzle piece here. You know. Yeah. Imagine if Loki is a goofy trickster, and if Usopp's gonna fight anyone, it's Loki, and it's a battle of tricks and lies. Oh. In which case, then, do we think that, like, let's say it is a dream, like, that still explains all the Straw Hats are sucked into the dream, a la, like, in Film Red. Let's assume that that's the way this is working. That would mean that the Straw Hats are at least still the Straw Hats, right? Like, Luffy is still Luffy, unless they made a fake version. Where do you think Chopper currently is? Is there a specific reason he hasn't been shown yet? I feel like there is at this point, yeah. Also, can't wait for the eventual video on Season 2. Yes, Robin's casting and Crocodile's casting. I will be making a video about that, yeah. Bald Usopp at the end of the chapter. Is Usopp bald at the end of the chapter? I guess, I don't know if I guess he might just be wearing his cap on, like, his head because his helmet falls off, and I guess it does look like he's bald. That is funny. Yeah. Chopper just died off screen. Who wins? Worst Gen 12 or X Shishibukai? Okay, I see. I see what you mean. Worst generation 12. I was just confused by, like, worst generation of what? I was like, oh, I get it. That generation. Okay. You know, I would say, that would be tough. I actually, you know what? I'm going to bet money on the worst generation on that one. Honestly. Yeah. Do you read Undead Unluck? Yeah, but I'm just a couple chapters behind right now. Zoro has Shusui again. Does he? No, he's using Enma. Okay, Enma's definitely there. No, he has the at least the hilts of all the blades look the same. And you could just say he's using Armament Haki over here. Yeah. See, this makes me think, yeah. It is weird, though. The Goddess of Dream is messing with them. There could be a straight up, like, well, I don't know if there's going to be actual gods and goddesses, but I could imagine giants getting certain devil fruit powers and having godlike abilities. You know, Luffy's straw hat is gone. Well, he's wearing a helmet, so maybe it's under the helmet. That's kind of what I assumed there. So I didn't even really think about that. Where is Luffy's hat teching? It could just be under his helmet. It could just be. But if we're going along with so many inconsistencies at this point, might as well just be a dream world, right? You know what also? This bugged me too, and I brought it up in the chapter. Nami and Usopp fall out of this castle that's like 100 feet off the fucking ground, and they land and they're fine. And they fall and it just cuts to black, and then they're on the ground. Nothing has cushioned their fall, and then giant lion shows up to eat them. Like, even, like, I mean, I guess you could say, oh, it's anime, it's manga, whatever. They fall from great heights all the time. I mean, like, we've had worst falls, to be honest. I don't know, that fucking bugged me. That bugged me. And they fall on top of Lego blocks. That's gotta hurt, yeah. Maybe Oda was drinking absinthe. Oda just, oh, dude, maybe that explains the inconsistencies. Oda was like, for realism, I will get drunk while I draw this chapter. Dude, that would actually explain a lot. Dude, that would explain a lot. If Oda was either drunk or high when he was drawing this chapter. Like, Luffy uses gear 4th. I mean, gear whatever. Like, oh, man. Oh, dude. There was a blackout before the fall. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, man. I didn't, when I started this stream, I didn't think of the idea of like, it's probably not a dream world. But, dude, once all the inconsistencies started adding up, and then I had the fucking epiphany over Film Red connecting back to this, because the movies do that. It's almost like they're prototypes half the time. Like Bullet's backstory. When you read Kaido's backstory, it's like a prototype version of it. It's crazy, you know? So once again, this is not going to be like the premise of the whole movie of Film Red was the Straw Hats trapped in a dream world. That was the whole premise of that and trying to get out. This is not going to be that all of Elbaf. It's just, I could see Oda being like, I need to start off Elbaf somehow. I need to have like a mini arc to get us into Elbaf, like maybe like 4 or 5 chapters just to lead into the arc. I'll use Dream World. Yeah, I'll just use Dream World. Oh, the Dream Uta theory. We need to see the Sunny. Yeah, the Sunny walks around because the Sunny disappeared too. Oh, yes. Just do that. Fuck it. Yes. Just do like 4 or 5 chapters in weird Dream World Elbaf, and then have the Sunny show up. Yeah, and then they get out, and then they beat up the giant that did it to them, and then they're in real Elbaf. You could argue the Sunny does have a soul because of the Klabautermon and shit. There you go. Sunny! It's not a dream world. See, this is what I love. This is why we're here. This is why we're discussing. There'll be like a dude that's like, bro, it's literally a hallucination. It makes perfect sense. And they'll be like, dude, it's definitely real. It makes perfect sense. And welcome to my job, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to what I do. The Sunny has a soul. It does have a soul because sun, soul. Yeah. Elbaf backwards is Fable. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Macaulay Culkin face. Maybe we're the ones that drank the absinthe. All right, how many people are drinking right now? I'm not drinking. You just look down and you see, oh no. The tree in the background might be a clue. Where's Frankie? Frankie's still on the Great Eric. We saw him. Oda likely chose absinthe as the drink. Yeah, so I didn't bring this up also, but yeah, so there's used to be a way. There's a thing called wormwood, and there's absinthe, and it has wormwood in it. And back in the day, the way that you would distill wormwood, or there's some process of the distillation of absinthe, it could make people kind of see shit and kind of go insane, all right? And it was really, really dangerous. So they've actually removed... in some cases, removed wormwood from absinthe. I think it's called absinthe when you do that. So it's just like, oh, hey, this wormwood stuff is really, really bad for it. It'll make you see weird shit and go crazy. So it's like, let's take out the wormwood and give you something else. And so, yeah, there's a whole thing with, like, if you know anything about, like, alcohol, that, like, absinthe can kind of make you see weird shit. Yeah. So there it is. The idea also is, like, when Nami is exploring the castle, and I went back and looked at this, the hallways, like when the hedgehog comes out, the hedgehog is like perfect sized for the hallway. Like, it doesn't look like a giant hallway. Like, it looks a little bit too big for a human, but it doesn't look too big enough for, like, giants to be walking around. Like, it doesn't look perfect human-sized, but it not quite giant-sized either. You know, it looks to be, honestly, that castle looks like it's the perfect size for Elbaf pets. Like, obviously, a hedgehog from Elbaf is going to be bigger than a hedgehog, like a normal hedgehog. Like, a normal hedgehog is, like, tiny. Like, I could fit a hedgehog in the palm of my hands, right? An Elbafian hedgehog would probably be the size of, like, I don't know, probably is, like, as tall as this room. Probably, like, 7, 8 feet tall. So, the castle seems to be perfectly, depicted for, like, cats, hedgehogs, rabbits, small dogs, that, like, giants would have as pets, but still too big for humans. Yeah. And the cat was the king of the castle because of also something that the giant would have been just messing around with, yeah. So the Strahds are being kept as pets. Yeah, that's basically the idea. Whether or not it's a physical diorama that, like, actually somebody built, or it's a dream world where they got sucked into, either way, some giant is fucking with them. And they've been doing this before with other humans because we saw the bones and everything. It's a dog house or a cat house. Yeah. That cat is stronger than Joy Boy. Yep. It's not a hedgehog. It's a hedgehog! Dude, we were watching, me and my friends, I was down at my friend's place playing D&D the other night, which we started a new campaign, and my friend Kennedy's the DM, and I play I had a lot of fun with my character. But, I'm down there and we're watching stuff on YouTube and we're watching Sonic videos. And I was like, yeah, I've never really played a Sonic game. And they're like, oh, man, you really need to. And we were watching these like videos of Shadow. And I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a contentious thing I'm going to say. I can't take Shadow seriously. Shadow is supposed to be this really edgy, like, I'm this edgy Sonic the Hedgehog villain. I have a tragic backstory, and I'm really cool, and I got a gun. And I'm like, he looks, like, so goofy. He looks so goofy. I cannot take that character seriously in the slightest. Edgelord Shadow, he's not edgy. He isn't. He's really goofy, man. Shadow worked in 2001. Because I didn't play Sonic games in 2001. I'll take your word for it. Oh, man. I know, I'm not saying I don't hate Shadow. It's just that, like, I see what they're trying to do with this character. It is not working on any level for me. Maybe if I was 8 years old in 2001 playing a Shadow game, maybe I would have been like, okay, whoa, he's like super tragic and this super edgy backstory. This is a really serious character. I'm like, maybe I would have, but I can't. I can't, man. I just can't. All right. Chaos control. No, I can't. All right. So, and he has a gun. Yeah. Please just stop talking. All right. Oh, man. Let's see. Dude, you're 30. I'm 31, actually. Nice to meet you. Edgy has always been cringe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe there was a time period when things were way more edgier back in the early 2000s, so maybe Shadow really worked back then. Listen, I know this is totally because I've never played those games. If I was a little kid playing Sonic games and I saw Shadow, I would be sitting here thinking right now, man, he was the most edgiest fucking character ever, man. I loved Shadow growing up. I just never grew up with him, so I'm like off on the side here. All right. So, survive 30 minutes before going to a different topic this time. Yeah, we did that, but we're going to go back to it now. We're going to edge it back to it now. We're going to Sonic the Hedgehog edgy back to it now. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's those are the major points of the chapter. Like, the chapter itself is like, Nami wakes up, explores the castle, giant hedgehog attacks her, she electrocutes giant bees, giant cat shows up, eating Usopp, hedgehog electrocutes the cat, cat chases them, they fall out of the castle, they land somehow, turns into a lion, the other Strahds show up, beat it up, and that's the end of the chapter. Yeah. It was super short. It was a very short chapter, yeah. What are Zoro's goggles? I don't know, Because they don't even look like goggles to me. They look like just like looking on it now, it looks more just like a mask he's wearing. Like there's no lenses. What upgrades do you want Usopp to get? He's got to get Mjolnir. He's got to get a giant hammer by the end of Elbaf. Like, that has to happen. Yeah. I used to have Mjolnir down here. I actually moved it upstairs to the game room. I'm gonna be doing a different kind of I have a game room upstairs I'm gonna do a live stream out of soon. I was getting stuff hooked up there to do that because I got the new D&D Player's Handbook, and I wanted to do like a Dungeons and Dragons stream talking about like D&D in general. So I thought it would be fun to do it up in the game room because I don't think I've ever filmed I did one stream in there where I put together the chairs, if you remember that. But I want to do an actual proper like stream in that room because I think it would be fun. So I moved up a lot of my weapons up there last night. All the foam swords and fake axes and shit that I have. Did you address the inconsistencies in the chapter? Yes, I have. It'd be cool if you covered this in a video. Do you think Im could have had a Hito Hitonomi model devil? He could give yokai or demon abilities and accept. I am not under the impression that Im has a devil fruit that can like grant other people abilities. You know, that's an idea that's out there. I mean, you just said it. I like the idea though that more Im is like an Umibozu, like he is, or he or she or they are an actual deity that hates devil fruits and grants their followers like I will give you abilities that turn into yokai, but they're not devil fruit abilities. That's the way I would like it. Because if they all have devil fruit abilities, then you could argue like, oh, okay, just, restrain them with sea prism or knock them into the ocean or some way. Like there's some way to, I don't want that to be the final way to like, here's how we defeat Im. Just get sea prism on him and he won't be able to use his power anymore. It's like, nah, if anything, that might make him stronger. So that's cool. Why do you say Im instead of Emu? I don't know. A while ago, I got to saying Im, and I'm saying Im. Im. It sounds normal, too. It sounds weirder to say Emu to me, because it sounds like emu, like the bird. And I'm just like, it just sounds cooler to say Im. I am Im. Yeah, but just how it works here. Nah, Sea Prism doesn't work against Conqueror's Haki users. Easily destroys. That is just not true. That is just not true. Big Mom has Conqueror's Haki out the ass. She was restrained with Sea Prism. She could not break out of those chains. That's not how it works, no. If that was the case, Big Mom could just, like, Conqueror's Haki and just the chains would just fall apart. That's not how that works. Where is Chopper? Chopper! We need to get to the Chopper! Chopper, I don't know. Chopper's going to show up as a giant helicopter coming to save the Straw Hats in the dream world. That's how we'll know we're in a dream world, when Chopper shows up as a helicopter. That's how we'll know maybe this is a dream world. I think Chopper is being regarded as a new god after being kidnapped. So, if the reason they got into the dream world is because they were drunk, that would be interesting because Chopper does not drink alcohol. But maybe he did have a sip. Maybe he just had a sip because it's a celebration. He had one sip and then he passed out. But that would be interesting if there is a giant that's like messing with them and putting them in here. And it's like he sees Chopper and he's like, oh, you're adorable, little Chopper, little reindeer guy. You know what I mean? And so that's like his special pet that he's keeping somewhere else. Yeah. Chopper will start Ragnarok. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put him past him. He's going to be a motorcycle. That's cooler. I say Agatha Christie. Yeah, the whole... Because it's Adventure in the Land of Mystery. So I'm like, Agatha Christie, because that's the first thing I think of when I think of mystery novels. Could be Utgard Loki, giant with illusion powers. Yep. Could be a giant with illusion powers through a devil fruit. Could be a giant that can manipulate dreams with the power of a dream fruit similar to Uta's. Or it could just be a giant that has a fake little realm made up. Doesn't make much sense, though. It like on how the Sunny and all of everybody disappeared without them even noticing. Because keep in mind, like, the giants and the Strats were drunk when they were on the ship. But, like, does it make sense that they all got drunk and all passed out at the same time? Like, all the giants, all of the Straw Hats, all went to sleep at the exact same time while they were in the middle of the ocean, while they were sailing. They all passed out at the same time. Because there was a lot of giants on the Great Eric. Yeah. And none of them sensed anything. That makes it feel more like it just blipped out of existence, you know? Luffy doesn't drink. So no, it's never been said Luffy doesn't drink, period. It's, Oda even said this in an SBS, like, when the Straw Hats were, like, drinking contest. He's like, you know, Luffy is interesting because Luffy has the potential to drink quite a bit, but meat goes first for him. So the implication is, like, I think Luffy would drink occasionally. You got to be a little careful with that because I think the drinking age in Japan is 20, and Luffy's only 19. So you might think, well, who gives a shit? They're pirates. But, like, also, like, it's a manga that's in Japan, so I don't know if, like, Shueisha would be cool if Oda depicting, like, underage drinking in his manga. Like, you know, but I guess he kind of did with Zoro already because Zoro was 19 when he was getting drunk way back then, so I guess that's fine. But Oda did get in trouble with that a few times because he did have to change. There used to be just regular, like, mugs of beer. Like, you could see the beer, like like the froth on it and everything. Oda had to eventually change that to barrels. So they're always barrel mugs now. Like, so there was a reason for him to change that. So, yeah. But no, it was never said that Luffy doesn't drink, period, or he hates drinking. It's just that meat's first. But could Luffy have a drink or two for a celebration? I absolutely. Yeah. They literally drank sake when they were kids. Yes, they did do that. But I'm just saying that there were other instances where Oda's had to change things because of that reason. Yeah. And who knows, maybe when Oda did do the sake thing, because Oda's always talking about the PTA coming after him, and just like, you're not being positive role models for children. Maybe he did the sake moment, and like maybe he probably did get complaints about that, I would assume. People probably did complain. All right, let's check some super chats here. Let's see. All right, what do we got here? I think Chopper is being regarded as a new god after they're being kidnapped, possibly. It'd be cool if I covered that one about the Hito no Mi. Let's see. Did anyone notice that the giant that talked about absinthe drink was shown different from before? He lost his scar in the latest chapter. So it was a memory that Nami was having when she was running. She was remembering a giant talking about the absinthe. So that's her memory. Let me check the chapter itself when the giant actually says that. Which I think was just the last chapter. Yeah, they look a little different. Little bit. Yeah. I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know anymore. What's an inconsistency and what's part of reality? I don't know. Are animals just here treated like royalty? No, I don't think they are. I think it's just like, once again, fake world. A giant is putting like a rabbit, not even a giant rabbit. Like, from the perspective of a human, it would be a giant rabbit. But from the perspective of a giant, it would just be a rabbit, right? So these putting like, you know, Elbaf hedgehogs and Elbaf rabbits into a diorama and just like go and have fun with it. How did they get to the mainland without anyone noticing? Yeah, exactly. More questions. Nami's reactions in this entire chapter were so fun, though. They were so fun. If this turns out to be a dream, you could easily say that. Like, every single, you notice every single inconsistency in this chapter, it was intentional. But if you go, and actually the wiki has a page for this. Go on the wiki and you can look up any tankobon, like volume 84 or whatever, which one you want. And there's always a list of like, here are corrections that were made by Oda. Like, this is an inconsistent... Like, I'll just pull one up right now just to give you an idea, because this is not as rare as you might think. In most chapters of One Piece, there's at least maybe, like, one inconsistency, something that Oda draws that's, like, off, that needs corrected later in a tankobon. It happens quite a bit. So, let's just pick, like, a random tankobon cover. Or a random tankobon. I'll just say volume 81. So there we go. That's Zo. So what are the changes that are made here? Okay, so this is like... so this is Zo. So, like, let's see here. What's the consistency here? Oh, that's like... So a lot of it is text, too. Like, Oda will... That's why I didn't freak out too much over the Gear 3rd, Gear 4th thing. Because there is a lot of times Oda will write something and be like, oh, he meant to write this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Let me just do this. So here's a little inconsistency that'll, like, this is an example. Where's Panda Man? Panda Man's in our hearts as a panda. So, like, here's an example from, like, volume 81. You can see, like, on top of Caesar's hat, there's pearls, and there were actually no pearls, so there's a correction there, you know? It is funny reading that half the time, because a lot of times it's like, wait a minute, what's the difference here? And then we have, like, what's another example? Oh, here's one where Oda forgets to draw Nami's eyelashes. Oh, here's a good one. This is one from when Yonji first showed up. When Yonji first showed up, Oda forgot to just draw his gloves completely. See, so, like, stuff like this happens, and I don't immediately jump to conclusions because I know this stuff does happen with Oda, so... But there's a lot. There's a lot in this chapter to the point where it's reached, like, this is a little bit strange. Yeah. Do you think Tyr and Fenrir will be in this arc? I think they're going to run into Fenrir. The wolf, definitely. What is the probability Usopp does not actually get any upgrades? I think very low. If Usopp leaves Elbaf without any upgrades, I'd be very disappointed. Then again, I was upset. I was upset Frankie left. Listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that it's very strange to me. Frankie left Wano without getting any Sea Prism tech. I'm not even talking like Sea Prism bullets. They had those, but I'm not even talking that. I'm like, dude, they had, like, literally Kaido was manufacturing Sea Prism weapons out the ass. Frankie never even got, like, Sea Prism brass knuckles, you know? Or, like, I'm going to replace the knuckles on my strong right with Sea Prism knuckles. Like, easily could have done that. Easily. I'm just going to get a big chunk of Sea Prism to strap to my arm to just smack a Devil Fruit user with. Like, easily could have done that, right? And Sea Prism strong right, yeah. And then you go into Egghead, where Vegapunk, master scientist, working on a bunch of advanced technology. Didn't really get anything from that. And I'm like, oh, that is a loss. Oh no, did my bulb burn out? Did the bulb burn out? No! Alright, we gotta get a new bulb for the pumpkin. What color do we want? Do we want red? I have red, blue, green, orange. I think that's it. What color bulb are we putting in the pumpkin? I was here. Usopp better get Mjolnir here. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Green. We just had green. We could do red. I'll pull up a pull. I'll pull up a pull. See, people are saying purple. I don't have purple, but okay. What light bulb goes in the pumpkin? What color light bulb? All right, we're going to do... I have blue, I have green, I have orange, and I have red. Here you go. All right, here we go. This is the real pull. We got to fix this jack-o'-lantern. All right. He will get a fake one. Yeah, he'll get a fake giant hammer. It'd be funny if he gets the fake one, but he also gets the real one. It's coming up on orange, ladies and gentlemen. Give that a few seconds, though. It's looking... Well, I don't know. Red's pretty close, too. It could be red or orange. It's scarier with no light at all. Ooh. It is kind of creepy looking, isn't it? It's kind of creepy looking. I don't have pink. I don't have pink lights. These were a pain to get, by the way. You can't just go to the store and buy, like, these specific bulbs. I had to, like, special order these. Yeah, but I got a bunch of different colors. But yeah, I wish Frankie would have done something there with that. Like, if I was playing Frankie in a D&D campaign, I would have been like, okay, we defeated Kaido, great. Can I ransack all of the factories and get all this Sea Prism swag? That would be great. I want Sea Prism axes. I want Sea Prism blades. Usopp could get Sea Prism shit to fire from his Kabuto. Like, just Sea Prism, like, pachinko shots would be fucking good. Like, the Straw Hats should be Sea Prism out the ass right now, to be honest with you. Orange is the... I don't know. We'll give it another minute or so. Nami should have Sea Prism on her climb attack. Absolutely. Oh my god, the Straw Hats should all have Sea Prism. There's no reason. No reason why they shouldn't. Jinbei should have Sea Prism. I know he could use Haki, but he should have Sea Prism Knuckles, you know? What are you getting Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Probably not. I'm not a huge fighting game fan. So I'm probably not going to get that, but I don't know. Maybe I will. Start a new poll. Orange versus red. All right, I'll do that. It's against orange and red. Pokemon orange, Pokemon red. I'll do it. Orange or red. All right, here we go. New poll. The fact Queen and Frankie never interact. I was talking about this with my friend Zach yesterday too, as well, actually. So, going with the Frankie is Queen's son theory, because people have mentioned, like, well, they didn't see each other in Wano, like they would have recognized each other. Like, no, they wouldn't have. But also, like, I think the only time that you could argue they were in the same location together was when Frankie was in the Frankie Shogun. And Queen was already in the Brachiosaur form. I think it's the only time that they were even at, like, in the area where you could say they might have seen each other. I think Frankie could have made a Sea Prism. Oh, strong right, yeah. He could have done so many things with Sea Prism. Like, you give Frankie, and they were already making Sea Prism weapons. That's the frustrating thing. It wasn't even just like raw Sea Prism. It was like Kaido was making Sea Prism bullets, Sea Prism weapons. They had Sea Prism chains. They had all this shit that even just Frankie gets a Sea Prism chain and just wraps it around his arm and just beats people up with that. Like, why wouldn't he do that, you know? DM will say, no, all of them got destroyed. Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm going to go get all the Sea Prism. Oh, all the factories were shut down. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go break in. Yeah, no one's allowed in them anymore, though. All the Sea Prism just mysteriously got destroyed. Oh, dude, yeah. That's always fun. It would make them too powerful. They're already fucking powerful. They're already strong. Make them stronger. Make the Straw Hats the strongest they've ever been. Listing Avatar podcast, think Korra it was spare Ozai. See, I don't think she would if Korra experienced everything. See, Ozai was, like, by design, a pretty shallow villain. I would say Korra's villains were way more developed, because Ozai doesn't even really show up until, like, the 3rd season. We see him in flashbacks and stuff in Season 2, but it's not until Season 3 he shows up, and he's voiced by Mark Hamill, so he's awesome automatically, but, like, he's really there as just, like, I am the evil guy that you must defeat by the end of the story. Like, that's basically his character. And then he shows up, and then Aang defeats him. He's more of an obstacle, if more of a character. Red is winning. I am with the theory that the people on the first page are not real giants because how did they even notice that few bees died? Yeah, if these are Elbafian bees, then they are like pretty large compared to like everybody. Like the size they were compared to Nami seemed to be about the same size as compared to the other giants. I thought it was just the perspective at first, like foreground, background, but the more I'm looking at it, it's like, nah. Bees are big in Elbaf, but like compared to the people, they're too big, you know? Yeah, Ozai does have presence, if anything. That's true. He has enough presence that when I first watched Avatar, when I was like a teenager, I think it was around 13, 14 years old. When did the original Avatar end? When did Book 3 end? 2007, right? So that was 7 or 08. Went around there. I would have been like first year of high school when that ended. And I remember like Ozai being like, wow, this guy's really fucking strong. This guy's intimidating as hell. Like the conversation between Zuko and Ozai at the end of Day of Black Sun. Like I remember that. And I was like, oh man, this is the big villain. I didn't really stop to realize that like, wow, this character's really not been developed at all until a lot later when I started really focusing on that. But yeah, still he had presence. And like I said, Mark Hamill as his voice actor like really sells it. But Korra's villains are a lot more like developed. I didn't really care for... I liked Amon in concept, and then what the reveal that they had with him was just too rushed. Just flexing that I have a maxed OSRS account. Good for you, Daniel. I do not, but good luck. Yeah, I don't think Korra would have spared him, though. No. All right, red won, so I'm barely at 51% red wins. So I'm going to go grab a red light bulb for this jack-o'-lantern. I'll be right back. Light bulb. All right. Do 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 do. All right. Oh yeah. It comes out more orange. That is a red. That's a red one. That's a red one, but it looks more orange to me. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell too well too because like there's other lights on. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can. Hold on. There we go. Oh, spooky. There it is. That is orange. Well, it's a red light bulb, so it's a red light bulb. Because the orange ones are very different. Oh, yeah. Scam. Scam. Orange wins anyway. All right, cool. Yeah. Sometimes red is the orange we made on the way. Yeah, because the orange ones, the orange bulbs are not, they look a little different from that. So it's not that I just, oops, I picked the wrong one. No, they look very different. Yeah. I've been scammed. I ordered red light bulbs. They sent me orange ones. That bulb's a big fat phony. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. That is the perfect fit. Look at that. Hey, do you want a Viking jack-o'-lantern for your Halloween setup this year? That's awesome. That's great. That red is weak. He needs a name now. No, we're not doing that. We're not creating more characters. He's fine the way he is. I should make a little Viking hat for Barry, though. Make a little Viking hat. All right. So what else? What else? We got a super chat here. Oh, yeah, I already read that one about Frankie. But, man. Answered these ones, answered that one. I'm all caught up on that. Yeah. Thorfinn has arrived. I'm waiting for the giant that is named Thorfinn. I'm waiting for some Vinland Saga references. I want Leif Erikson. When does Leif Erikson show up in One Piece? I'm waiting for that. Let's do a vote to keep him like Barry did. I mean, I can keep him like this, but I don't know. I'll probably end up naming him in the next video. Stay tuned. Have we seen any plastic in One Piece before? One Piece is a very anachronistic kind of world where there's kind of like everything. So we probably have seen plastic before. If not, I guess this is the first time in Legos. What type of hockey would you have for real life? Probably just observation, because if observation hockey be basically like having Spidey sense, you know what I mean? You'd be able to like know what's going on like at all times. The toys in Dressrosa, yeah, there you go. I mean, I'm sure there's examples. Although then again, those were created via Devil Fruit power. Sugar had the ability to create plastic. Sugar had the ability to create non-biodegradable plastics. Damn her! They won't biodegrade for over 1,000 years. Damn you! Just watch again your review for Laugh Tale chapter. Man, how we were all wrong about Wano's length. Oh, yeah. Wano lasted longer than most people could have expected. Yeah. Yeah, but nobody said the Legos were made of plastic, right? Yes. I still need to make a video on the geography of Egghead, though. I kind of just like keeping that in the back of my head, but Egghead's over now, so I can actually make that video. So I got to do that. Sugar has the ability of pollution. Next chapter is Lego suing Oda. I'm pretty sure, like, he could not... I don't think he could actually use the word Lego, but, like, because I don't even know if that would make sense. You know, what is Lego? Does Lego translate to something? Like, why is it called that? Is that just the name of somebody? Is that, like, Danish for something? Like, what is the word Lego actually mean? Is it, like, an acronym? Does it stand for stuff? L-E-G-O? Like, does it stand for something? It's the Danish word for play. Okay, that makes sense. As in things to play with. That's what it means. Okay, cool. But yeah, I doubt Oda could actually use the word Lego. Yeah. Unless we do a One Piece Lego tie-in. If we get an announcement coming up, oh my God, there is a color spread in the next chapter. The last chapter said, like, next time, a color spread. I swear to God, if the color spread is like One Piece Lego coming to theaters, and I was like, oh, okay, I see now. I see what's going on here. It was a collaboration the entire time. It was marketing the entire time. I have One Piece Lego sets. They aren't official, though. Yeah. Would love One Piece ships as Lego sets until the price tag. Oh God, yeah. The prices of that would be insane. Like I got what was it? The pyramid and the Hijime Castle, like the architecture sets. Those were nice. Those were both like over $100 each. That globe was like over 200, I think. So yeah, that would be a good collaboration though, because people would buy them. People would buy the Lego Thousand Sunny, the Lego Going Merry, and there's not been an official crossover between those properties yet. So I think that would actually make sense if they did that. Yeah. Are you talking about half of a pyramid? Sure. the half of a pyramid that fits on my shelf. If it was a full pyramid, it would not fit on my shelf. So I'm glad it's half a pyramid. It's actually the perfect size for the shelf I put it on, so I'm very grateful for that. Be sold out in sec. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Like, the second that was announced, like, if the next chapter does open up with, like, One Piece Lego collaboration, get the Legos Thousand Sunny now, like, that shit would sell out in, like, less than a fucking hour. Probably less than, like, 5 minutes. Yeah. It's not a pyramid, then. Okay, it's half of a pyramid. It's a pier. It's a pier. Is Im a child? I mean, like, the mentality of a child, maybe. The Im just seems like the mentality of somebody that's just been given everything that they've ever wanted and has been lauded as a god for the last 800 years and is very full of themselves and very conceited. That seems to be the impression of Im to me. Especially when you see, like, the last episode where Im... You see the scene in the episode where Im is calling up the Gorosei, which is interesting, by the way, that Im has to physically call the Gorosei through a Denden Mushi. I thought they were all telepathically linked, which is a little strange. So Im has to, like, pick up a Denden Mushi and be like, Gorosei, I want you to use the Mother Flame. And I also want you to bring Vivi to me, you know? So it does seem very much like that. Can Luffy in Gear 5 turn the ocean into rubber? Well, we've seen Devil Fruit. So Devil Fruit users can affect the ocean. It's not that they can't do anything with the ocean. Like, Aokiji froze the ocean, and he could even ride on it with, like, a bicycle. Big Mom, well, with Parosparrow's candy ability. So Parosparrow made candy creatures, and the candy creatures were able to go on the water, like float on top of the water of the ocean. So you could do that. So there's definitely Devil Fruit abilities that can exist on the ocean. Like, just because you've made something out of a Devil Fruit ability doesn't mean it's like going to immediately dissolve or be destroyed when it touches the water. Would you consider Prince Loki to be, like, not like the trickster god, but the giant Utgard Loki? I don't want Loki to be painted as an antagonist, because I feel like that's been done to death with so many fictional like properties right now, like in media. It'd be more interesting if he was painted as, like, no, this is like a good guy, and maybe Thor is the bad guy or something. Like Oda does a subversion of it, because a lot of works usually paint Loki as a villain or like a tragic hero or like an anti-hero or something like that. It'd be interesting to see it flipped. The ear god. I think it's just an Elbaf rabbit. I think it's just a normal-ass rabbit that whoever they had grabbed it and threw it in wherever the Straw Hats are in right now. The ear god. The rabbit. Loki has hallucination fruit. Same powers as Mavis' fairy tale. I don't... Oh, by the way, we also have the person sitting on the edge of Elbaf. I'm thinking that person is probably the one that messed with them. You know, the one that was sitting on the shore of Elbaf that was like, come. You know, it's just like, I think that was the person that, whoever that was, could have been Loki, could have been some other giant. That was the person that has this, either the model that he put them all in or the dream power that we've been talking about this stream. Like, that was the person that was doing this. Yeah. So when it comes to eating the rabbit, do you think that this is potential for Luffy to be Forage-en, considering he is the sun god? I don't know what that means. Do you think there is potential for Luffy to be Forage-en? I don't know what that means. Considering he is the sun god. Yeah, I don't understand. Would report to, and do you think Luffy could end the Giants' duel? Forgiven. Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be forgiven. Sorry about that. For Luffy to be forgiven considering he's the sun god. Okay, I see. That makes sense now. Okay, so if the person that put them in there, or put them in this world, or whether it's a physical thing or if it's a dimension, is pretending to be the sun god, Luffy escaping from this realm and defeating that person and claims like, no, he's not the real sun god. I'm the real sun god. I don't even think, like, if it really is just a fake model that of Elbaf, like this guy made, and he just took random, like a hedgehog and a rabbit from the forest and just threw it in there, there's really going to be no consequences for, like, oh, Luffy killed a random rabbit, like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, whatever, it's just a rabbit, you know? But the guy that's putting them in there might, you know, be like, he's like, how dare you? That was my pet rabbit. It's like, well, you trapped us in here. You're no sun god, you know? Yeah. But I'm liking, the more I think about that idea is like starting off the arc in this way. And then like we're in Elbaf, but we're not in Elbaf. We're in a model in somebody's house that's in a village that's in Elbaf. You know, like that's it. Or we're in someone's dream realm. It's like fake Namek in the filler. Yeah, but that was like, they landed and then the aliens had like an ability to mess with their brains, right? And then the aliens made them think they were on Namek. And they manipulated them into, you know, their like the whole like plan and everything they had. Yeah, also Luffy, well, Luffy knows people are calling him the sun god. They're calling him Nika, but Luffy has no fucking idea what that means. Which is really funny. Which is just funny in its own right, because like nobody's like the Giants will probably sit him down and explain it, but will Luffy sit still long enough to have the explanation? Probably not. So I don't think Luffy cares, by the way. Like, Luffy, you took the appearance of our sun god, and Luffy will be like, whatever. Okay, where's the meat at? I want to eat. Yeah. Lego dagger. Yeah, it would not matter to him in the slightest. He might sit still long enough for them to explain it. Like, Luffy, you have to understand, you have the power of our sun god. And Luffy would just be like, oh, that's why people keep calling me that. All right. Well, I'm not going to, like, I don't want people worshiping me. I don't want people praying to me and shit. Quit praying to me. You know? That might be a joke. I could see that happening. The Giants keep praying to Luffy, and Luffy is just, stop that. Stop it. Yeah, Yggdrasil seems too small. Maybe the rest is underwater. No, I don't think it's underwater. I think it's just not the real Yggdrasil now. It's either like a little like guy, like little twig, took a little branch and put it in the little model and be like, there's Yggdrasil. Because if the giant in question is trying to make like a replica of Elbaf to put people into, then he would put like a little miniature, Yggdrasil. Yeah. Yeah, I like the dub version of Vegapunk. I thought it was pretty good. Could be a sapling. Yeah, and it also does not look like the Yggdrasil we saw before. Granted, we've only seen Yggdrasil from like a distance. But this Yggdrasil's trunk is like gnarled and like spiral. And the other we saw was like just a mighty, like a redwood almost. Just like a mighty giant trunk that just like ascends beyond the mountains and beyond the clouds. Like, this thing was huge in its scale. For it to just be revealed like that, I think the real Yggdrasil is the Atom Tree. I think that is still the case. Like, the real Yggdrasil is the Atom Tree. Every now and then some of the wood from it ends up on the black market. That's where Frankie bought it. I'll go with that. Yeah, Yggdrasil was thick. The real Yggdrasil was thick. Is it confirmed that that huge one is even a tree? No. But it's like, I'm looking at this from the perspective of, if you're going to draw Elbaf and it's going to have a world tree, you're going to want the tree to be pretty goddamn big, right? Like, maybe so big that it like you can't even like see the top of it or whatever. And it was a big tree that we saw in the last chapter, but like for it to just be revealed like that, it would be more impactful as a story to be like, hey, this tree that's really big, this is just the sapling of Yggdrasil. It's like the scene at the end of Hunter x Hunter where it's like, this is the world tree. Actually, it's not. That is the world tree. Oh, it's like that. That would be even cooler. I like that. I like that. Guys, Lego rhymes with ego. Eggo waffles. See, I wouldn't even like it if it was like the uppermost branches of Yggdrasil, because like I want that thing. I mean, once again, it's just like what I want doesn't matter in the One Piece story, but like I'm just going to say if that was Yggdrasil, even like that's the top of Yggdrasil, I would still be disappointed. What does Hunter x Hunter come back? You know, I just looked into this the other day. It's like, I think it's like the first edition in October. I think it's October, like the official release would be October 7th, I think. So that means like the unofficial version would probably be out like the week before. So the week of like October, probably like if it comes out like Thursday, Friday, the same way that like One Piece does, it would probably be October 3rd or 4th. But don't hold me to that. Oh, by the way, the next Amazing Digital Circus comes out October 4th. So and it's a Halloween episode, so I'm excited for that. Love ya. Break equals anime cartoon dad tier list upcoming. I should probably do that. Although I do want to do the D&D stream first. I'm gonna do like a Dungeons and Dragons, you know, because the new edition of Player's Handbook is out, and I have like some stuff set up upstairs that I'm going to. I have to do one more thing. So I tried to get like internet up there, like because I have like a TV that does Wi-Fi up there, so I'm like I should probably be able to get Wi-Fi. So I bring my old computer upstairs, the one I used to use before I'm using this one here, and I'm like, oh cool, I have my old computer, I have a monitor, I'm gonna like stream up here, and I was gonna do it last night, and could not get connected to the internet, like for some reason, like the Wi-Fi, even though the Wi-Fi works on my phone, it works on the TV, it would not pick up on the computer. So I went out and I bought a 75-foot Ethernet cable, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to run this down and into that main house and just plug it in. Just like, I'm just running a 75-foot Ethernet Cat 6 cable. That'll work. No, the internet guy? No, I could do this one myself. We just need a long-ass cable. That's all we need. Long-ass cable solves every problem, you know? Dude, I remember back in the day when I had like when we still had dial-up internet, I had this old computer in my bedroom, and it didn't have internet, so I had to get a phone cable, like an 80-foot phone cable. Probably didn't need to be 80 feet. Probably only had to be like maybe 20 feet, but whatever. I ran it from like downstairs. I like plugged it in and like ran it all the way upstairs into my bedroom so I could get internet. Like it was, yeah. Won't it reduce internet speed? It just needs to be good enough to stream. I don't need it to be perfect. If it's good enough to stream, it's fine. Yeah. What do you think of the fact that not Whitebeard, world government's ultimate weapon, the Sky Laser, is slowly ceding the world to the Fishmen? By the way, this is like $2. Oh, thank you for that. I didn't know what 200 of that was. So yeah, like there's also the question, like a lot of the Fishmen and the Merfolk, they would know about all these like lost civilizations that are under the water because they live under the water. So you think they would know, like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of lost cities down there, like a whole lost civilization at the bottom of the ocean, right? Like, Jinbei should know about this. Now, granted, I don't think the Straw Hats have ever spoken to Jinbei about this directly, and it might be so much common knowledge to Jinbei and the other fishmen and merfolk that, like, they don't bring it up because it's like, why would they? Because it's like, oh yeah, like, obviously, there's a bunch of, like, cities and towns down there. That's the way it's always been. Yeah, I mean, like, that's normal, right? For the ocean floor to be covered with civilizations. So, but if the Straw Hats ever asked Jinbei directly, he should be able to just be like, well, yeah, obviously. There's also, like, civilizations down there. There is the Goldfish Empire. There's the Catfish Village. You know, there's a bunch of different places under the ocean that are already populated by, like, sea creatures and stuff. We see a sunken city in Jinbei's cover story. We do. We also see sunken cities a few other times in the story, too. Yeah, they live in Fishman Island because it's the best place to live down there because it has light. You know, so there are other places, but like the Goldfish Empire does not have like light. It doesn't have like the sun, you know, so it's not like the best place to live, but the Mother Tree Eve provides oxygen because fishmen and merfolk are amphibious. They can survive outside of the water and in the water. So the best place for them to live would have both of that, you know, and then it would also have the sun. So that's where they're living, yeah. Yamato's cover story is so far a snooze fest. It's gonna probably involve all of Wano. So Yamato traveling the entire nation. So, you know, there's gonna be probably parts of it that aren't gonna be that exciting. But I think it'll pick up. Your Jinbei voice is funny. This is my dad voice. I don't know, because my dad doesn't talk like this. I don't know a lot of dads that do talk like this, but like, this is my dad voice. This is also the voice I was using for my character the other night when I was playing. I'm playing a half-orc bard named Kilgore, and he has a 7 intelligence, so he's pretty dumb. He's like, hey, talk like this. How you doing? I'm Kilgore. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Top 3 Little Debbie snack cakes. Oh, now that's a question. Okay. I like the oatmeal patties, like the oatmeal cakes, and then the fudge round. So like it probably goes probably goes oatmeal and then the fudge round, and then the star cookies. Those those are the Rice Krispie ones. Those are good too. I'll go 3. I'll go oatmeal, then fudge round, then I'll go with little star crunches. Kilgore from Killer Instinct. I've never played Killer Instinct, but Kilgore. There was an old video where Spoonie was talking about a D&D campaign he was in, and he uses the word Kilgore, which he might have gotten from Killer Instinct. I don't know, but I thought it was a funny name. And there's also an episode of there's a little a comic of Cyanide and Happiness where the name Kilgore is used there too. So I just like the name Kilgore because it's like, what does he do? He kills, and then it's gory, you know, just like it's a very brutal kind of just name. That's funny to me. Kilgore. Yeah. Star Crunch, that's it. Yeah, Star Crunch is really good. We've been about an hour and a half in, and like I said, there was a lot of stuff to discuss, but the chapter itself was smaller, so yeah, I think we covered major. Also, that's the thing, like, we don't have, like, there's a 2-week break now, so I'll make videos about this, but like, we didn't learn a lot in the last chapter, like, definitively. Like, we didn't learn, like, really much of anything other than just speculation at this point. Like, it's like, oh, what if it's a giant, small little fake village or a dream world? Or, you know, what if Loki's involved? It's just like, yeah, it's a lot of the same stuff that we were talking about from the chapter before that. Oh, man, I guess we'll find out, though. We learned a lot about Legos. We learned a lot about giant Legos in this chapter, yeah. I wouldn't say, yeah, okay, I will say that leading into a break week from this chapter, that does kind of suck. Like, if there was going to be a break, I would have rather it have been last week. So 11/26 to 11/27. Like, Nami waking up in the Lego house, and then the 2-week break, and then we get this chapter, followed by another chapter right after this one. I think that would have worked better, but that's not how it worked out. Yeah. 2-week break. Well, I mean, like, it is a 2-week break. I mean, then there's going to be no chapter next week, so that's 1 week, and then another week, and then that chapter will come out. So, yeah. And we got Ace and Spade just saying poop. So I think this is about a good time to head out. I do have to go to the bathroom, so that does fit pretty well. But I will block you for spamming. So there you go. But we will be talking about this. I'll see if I have anything more to add about it. Like, if I could sit down and maybe think about other angles to take this. Maybe I'll make a video where I compile like some other idea, like all the theories together on what's happening right now. Like, theory number 1, the hallucination theory. Theory number 2, the diorama theory. Theory number 3, the Loki is drunk theory. Theory number 4, Oda is drunk theory. You know, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. So, oh yeah, let's talk about that. So that's something that is confusing for myself. So the whole Bartolomeo thing. So in the last chapter, it was mentioned because we actually get a panel that says, just over a month ago, here at Gartel Island, Bartolomeo burned the flag. And then we have Shanks arriving. So does this take place a month ago? Or does this take place in present time? That's the confusing thing. Because, okay, so Shanks was at Wano, and then somebody said, like, hey, we need to go deal with Bartolomeo. And then Shanks doesn't go deal with Bartolomeo. He goes to Elbaf instead and gets drunk at a bar, which does track for Shanks. Like, that does track. It's like, hey, Shanks, we got to go deal with this Bartolomeo guy. All right, we better go deal with that. I mean, we'll swing around Elbaf and get drunk for a little bit, and then we'll get around to that. And then he goes to Gartel Island. I guess that does make sense. I forgot Shanks' propensity to drink. I forgot Shanks' propensity to put things off and get drunk and then go deal with them. Yeah. Any updates on the bees? They weren't bees. They were yellow jackets. They're all dead now. Yeah, Shanks was near Wano, though. See, that's the thing. Like, he went from Wano, past Egghead, to Elbaf, got drunk, went back to Gartel Island, because I think Gartel Island was before Wano. I don't know. But the way I'm reading this chapter now, it is looking like the narrator is saying a month ago this happened when Bartolomeo burned the flag, but Shanks arriving is happening in the present, like right now, like after Shanks left Elbaf. It's a lot of moving around, but they are a Yonko crew, so maybe it's not that big of a deal for them. Yeah. I mean, you could say the reason Shanks was Wano was just to promote Film Red, but he's still there in the canon of the manga. Like, yeah, that probably was a reason, but, like, you can't just, it's like, well, he was there just to promote the movie. Don't think about it too much. It's like, yeah. It still happened. Yeah, so wedding first, then Wano, then Elbaf, then Gartel. I guess that's the way it worked. A lot of moving around really quick for Shanks, though. But I suppose. In which case, I guess Shanks is currently there in Gartel instead. Or they're about to leave Gartel. What was the official, like, what is Gartel? Was that, like, the official naming? It was. What does it mean? Gartel. So it's written in katakana. There's no, like, kanji for it, which is standard. I'm just curious because it's like we got the name of a town, so I'm always interested in, like, where does the name go from here? Gartel Island. Yeah, nothing's coming up with the katakana or, like, the word Gartel in Japanese. Gateru could be something else. Could be a pun. I thought, like, my immediate thought when I saw the word, just because, like, we have the word cartel. So I'm thinking cartel. Is this, like, a reference to, like, a drug cartel or something like that? Like, but I don't think that really makes sense for the island. All the people in the town were drug dealers. They were Shanks's drug dealers. But, yeah. Anyway, that might be up with Shanks right now. So I'm going to get going. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to go see how this internet connection thing works. We'll see how the 75-foot-long Ethernet cable handles it, and internet should work up there. And then I want to do this D&D stream. I don't know if it'll be tonight, because today's, Sunday? It could be tonight. Depends how it goes. But look out for that. Look out for that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for all the super chats. I think I got them all. Any updates on the bees? Yeah, they're all dead now. They weren't bees, though, thankfully. They were just yellow jackets. Yeah, answered that one. The sky laser, the rabbit. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to discuss here. Yep. All right. Take care, everybody. You have a good one. Oh yeah, I also keep meaning to reference Vicky the Viking. I've never seen it. It's an old cartoon, and Oda watched it when he was a kid, and that's why a lot of bases for Vicky the Viking are going to be in Elbaf. So that's like a whole other reference. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for creating the new character. I'll probably have a name for this pumpkin in the next video. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Thanks, everybody. Signing out.